I am going to do a little video here on Central Intelligence Agency. This is what was posted, let me see, earlier today on February 5th, 2025. SIA sends buyout offers to its entire workforce. The man you see right there was one of the people who was inside of this house, and exactly the way you see the news was also presented. He personally presented me this news inside of the house. This will be the case, etc., etc., etc. But this is not the movie about etc., etc., etc. This is a special message for Central Intelligence Agency, Federal Bureau of Investigations, and also Ursula von der Leyen, who insisted me I must not under any circumstances cut ties to Central Intelligence Agency, claiming me that European intelligence was nowhere near as strong as American Central Intelligence in respect to my case. Basically, it's like this. What you see here, and it's still here, you know, you still have this stuff here. Let's take time and date. That's my habit too. Date, time. Let's see what is in New York now. Oh, it's 14:47. People are heading home from work, and some people are heading at work. Basically, I suggested here, not even mom that evil. No wonder Putin loves one. Definitely the Putin loves one. One way or the other, this man is loved by Putin. I'm with the SIA on this one, but only temporary. Till you recover enough at SIA so I can again beat you down. If everybody gets fired, there is no one left to bitch about. And then underneath is, this is a project known as Trump Lunacy, and it's connected to fire in Los Angeles, connected to plane crash, connected to his state-sponsored terrorism. It's how you enforce terrorism. People fired at SIA will be those that Trump doesn't need, not his private corrupt criminals. It's a transition to totalitarianism, now open dictatorship. Well, the thing is that I am not sure what this is. In terms of Central Intelligence Agency, I am just going to give you my account about this stage of MK Ultra because I think this is the most, it's the fair, like the most honest way of doing business. And it is why, and what will make you understand why I have decided to completely cut ties with the Central Intelligence Agency, condemning one for the satanism I endured for 53 years. I don't want to do business with the Lucifer. Basically, it's like this. Everything you read in the media was negotiated. If you read about the SIA, between Trump and SIA. If you read about FBI, between FBI and SIA. In respect to cuts, work, employment offers to retire, it was like this. The first stage of Donald Trump required, and they call this Donald Trump. I would not call this Donald Trump because before the plane crash, before the Los Angeles fire, we had a 9/11, September 11 in 2001, and this type of stuff was initiated, talking about getting rid of as many as possible federal employees. It started to gain traction under George Bush in 2004. George Bush was the one who was interested. He contemplating on firing, getting rid of large amount of federal workforce. He was the one. Yeah, George Bush was a very good friend of Vladimir Putin. He was a very good friend of Vladimir Putin. This is not to say that Trump is, not even Trump. This is not to say not that even Trump is a friend of Vladimir Putin. Trump alone stated me, if you will continue to see assistance given to Ukraine, you will understand that things are a little bit different, won't you? Yeah, sure. Let's continue with this stuff. What Trump is doing is basically what Central Intelligence Agency is doing. First of all, I'm not comfortable with this stuff here. I'm not comfortable. I'm not comfortable with somebody like this. I'm not comfortable with somebody like this. There was a number of FBI workers and a number of Central Intelligence workers who started to claim me in 2015, 2016 for this stage of MK Ultra that 2015, 2014, 2015, 2016 that they will be taking buses. They will take in planes, they will be coming and closer to my home, they will be coming to me at the doorsteps, stuff like that. No, you don't come to any of these doorsteps. These are not doorsteps for any of you. It's like this. Every employee in Central Intelligence Agency, I understand, I was told, knew about my case. Every fucking one of you. The same thing was with the FBI. It was given as an order by your executives for every one of you to familiarize yourself, to know about this stuff. That's one thing. The second thing is, in 2015, this is before the Trump became president. In 2015, there was a big thing about this stuff. Trump became irritated about this stuff, and as this man that you see right here started to push the news in my face, like the one you see right here, sometimes in 2018, he too used the language, but you will not, you do understand that this is basically after was 2014, 2015, 2016, and even 2017 when they had big debates on FBI and CIA about second term of Donald Trump's presidency. When this man came on the picture in our house and started to stress me issues based on based on, listen to the video and you will understand based on what. So he had a concerns that I would turn away from CIA, that he had a concerns that I would turn away from FBI. But the thing about it is that before he had these concerns, also in 2016, 2000, maybe even 2015 and 2016, you had Central Intelligence Agency people who interacted with Donald Trump, Trump's people, not Trump's people, George Bush's people, worried tremendously, Obama people, whatever you want to call them, worried tremendously that I would, next to temporary, not permanently, but temporary, see myself in Central Intelligence Agency like I indicated this morning. Like this post here, I indicated this morning. They started to worry that because why? Because I have bitten the story. I have bitten their brainwash in 2015, 2016. They started to worry. They started to talk about with exactly same issue that pertain to every MK Ultra violence or group of people that they assembled, used for the violence purposes together with police, sheriff department. Claim me that they will be the one helping me out and I don't know what. It always resolved in this. It always ended up in such a way through the toxic torture that I myself would reject them. This was the specialty. This was the job that the Central Intelligence Agency, Federal Bureau Investigation, now from against Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, the man that you see right there, 53 years. If I have to continue to explain more why I will not proceed with American authorities in respect to this case. Yeah, this is how disgusting this is. This is the type of people I dealt with. This is the scum basically that not only was involved in it, but ran the whole thing. The whole criminal ring, the whole stuff. This is how they wanted. They wanted for me to reject them, basically through the torture, through the bestiality performed on me. Toxic relationship. Donald Trump, who sensed this stuff, became ambitious and started to inquire Central Intelligence Agency, FBI, if it's possible to get me killed somehow. That was 2016. He openly started to interact with the CIA, with the FBI heads inside of this house, and also in the United States of America, started to desperately search for the way to get me killed, which he almost succeeded with it. Nowhere he came more close to it than in 2020 in Czech Republic, when he hired the criminals through this Czech politician, born in Slovakia, this Slovak politician. This garbage here, this Babiš, this one here, Babiš, this individual, this was his right hand. This one is from Bratislava. He exercised assassination attempts, and CIA did not intervene. CIA did not start to ask this presidential candidate, why, how come that you, and so on, why do you want this and this and that, you're not supposed to, and so on and so forth. They didn't do any of that stuff. They gave him a green light, full support, stalked, and did everything possible to get me killed, literally. They gave a green light to Slovenian police. They gave a green light to Slovenian psychiatry to finish the job in Slovenia. Sorry, but for this kind of stuff, you have no business to be anywhere here in front of my entrance, in front of my home. You have nowhere, no access. Any Central Intelligence Agency employee or FBI employee, you have no right to come anywhere close to me, to approach to me. I will approach to you with police. I will come and I will interrogate you. I will get the job done. I will kick your ass. I will learn who you are, where you are, and I will turn your life into a nightmare. You have no business to come here. I have nothing to do with you. You screw me up 53 years of life. You turn into extermination procedure. You're not going to come here. And in this time, you're not going to shake hands with me. Not now, not ever. Not for the cost of Putin. Not for the cost of Satan, Lucifer, he comes down. You are the one. There will be no truce between me and United States of America. There will be a lawsuit. If for nothing else, we're going to talk about the money that you talked about, how much money you threw on the table. We're going to talk about that. So the world gets to know you, Lucifer, for who you are, for who you truly are, where you are coming from, and how it all starts with the babies. This is the purpose of this case. Even if for nothing else, the world must learn the truth about United States of America for what it is. But here, talk to me, help me, etc. Fuck you. You're not gonna be part of this story. You never ever were part of this story. Beyond evil that you caused, you never ever were part of any of the story. I'm here because of God. I exist because of God, because of His assistance. And I had a lot of problem. I had a life destroyed, ruined, deleted, erased because of you. That's all. That's a big difference. You're not God. You're Satan. You're Lucifer. You're Sia. You're not my friend, and you're never going to be my friend. I'm not friend with a Putin, but I'm not friend with you either. It is simple as this. And I never ever going to be friend. We're never going to handshake. This case you lost. Just like Vladimir Putin did. Just like the Russians did. With the Russians, I did whatever it was necessary to depict them for what they are. I'm not gonna say that with you it's next. You are shit. You are just what you are, basically. You are what you are. You are Sia, basically. You are from the country of brave and free, basically. Home of the brave, that's where you are coming from, and that's the way it's gonna stay. You have a Statue of Liberty and everything else, and you have a Bill of Rights, and you have a Constitution, and you also have a Bill O'Reilly. That's all there is to it. Donald Trump will fire in the next round of this generous offers now he's giving. That's how they presented to me this. That's how Sia presented to me with their journalists. It will come that Donald Trump will start to fire people. It was estimated about, yesterday I watched a video about 1%. They talk about 1% of the workforce at CIA, at FBI, whatever. Federal workforce. In some agencies more, in other agencies more, 1%. I would suggest to you that you start to investigate the journalists that talk about 1%, because they were all involved. I watched that from the Yahoo. When you see people, journalists from the mainstream media, I could go and handpick that. We can do that. I can help you out, point people who did this stuff, but nothing beyond that. Yes, I am interested in, I'm gonna say, basically helping out people of the United States of America. I am interested in that. I'm interested in helping people of the United States, to help them to see it, to understand, to educate them enough so they can protect their own interests. I can do that. I can point out the criminals from the mainstream media that were in this stuff, that did learn about. Listen, when you say that it's 1% of the workforce, you know you're fucking lying, because you knew about everything. Journalists in the United States of America are Central Intelligence Agency espionage people. That's one of the things. And when you say as a mainstream media agent, journalist, it's going to be 1%, you're lying. You're omitting the truth, the known facts that pertain to the background, to the talks that you held, in meetings that you had with the top government officials in the background. So you're lying, basically. You're misleading, and it doesn't matter if you're black or white. I saw yesterday, they lie to one another, and black and white, they sit in front of one another, and they exchange the words and stuff like this. Disgusting. Because you practice this stuff, you practice the interview already in the past. And this is not about whether Trump should fire, he should not fire. You lie to the people, it's going to be 1%, when you know in some cases it's going to be even 20%. After the generous 1%, it came out that they would start to fire like on a mass scale. They even talk about 20% cut of the workforce. That's a whole lot for whatever department. 5%, they discuss about 1%, and then 5%, and then 10%, and so on, and then even 20%. So meaning that after these generous offers, there'll be a lot of cleansing without the agency, and probably decent people are those that are not going to bend their heads down to Donald Trump will be the one that will fly away. Now, let me explain to you something, you little fucks. Good people, you're not. It doesn't matter which side you are at SIA. Because You're not going to come. That's why I say, I don't want to see you at my entrance. I don't want to see you anywhere other than on a court. I don't want to see you anywhere other than when I knock on your door and I interrogate you. Get you to the police department. Good people you're not, scum you are. You become interested in helping out people in the worst case scenario, and I don't even trust you with this. When the water starts to leak in your mouths, basically, when you start to lose jobs, when your people start to find themselves on the street, and in your scenario, the way I see you, not even then, you become interested when you know there is other global agencies, where there's other governments around the world that will do something about it. That's when you become interested. That's when you become motivated. Because from the country, not of the brave and free and this and that, but the country that is always interested in a freedom, that is always interested in justice, by portraying their heroes, their people. They always have, certain, like based on the Hollywood movies, they always have the people that are heroes, that are, defeats the evil and so on. And it's always, this secret agent and I don't know what kind of agent, the fucking what it is. And it's always a good against the evil, the battle and this and that, That's how you get attention from people from other countries. That's how you get them to watch your diarrhea, basically. That's how it goes with the Hollywood. That's how it operates. And the Hollywood again is Sia. I mean, we had nothing to discuss about that issue. You become motivated in helping people, truly helping people, is when the games become so fucking evident that you no longer can hide one. And in my case, it took 53 years. So you are no good. You're no good. You're just no. There is no good people in CIA, and there's no good people in FBI. Fuck this. It's a fucking plane ticket. It's a fucking bus. And I don't know, they even have boats. Disregarding your missions throughout the Europe, which are so many, you come here to bath yourself, swim, shopping. You have embassy here in Ljubljana. You have embassy here in Zagreb. There is a Facebook. There is all this media that exists out there you can communicate through. You did everything possible to choke even other people from approaching here to come anywhere close. You just did really a lot. Really bad stuff. And you did this literally to kill me. The health circumstances that I was under, that I operated under since 2018, this is insane. With 4 hours of sleep per day, 5 hours of sleep per day, I didn't even have the guts to tell people how much sleep I get, because I was afraid they're gonna stop this. Based on the threats, psychiatric threats, even institutionalized me if I would not get enough sleep, if I would complain about the sleep. This was psychiatrist Peter Kapsch, police, novo mesto police. But it was done with your assistance, Sia. It was done on your behalf. You provided the cover for Slovenian scum to do stuff like this. You assured Slovenian side they have nothing to fear. Slovenian side fears. Even though they have Putin behind them, even though they have Vučić behind them, Serbs. You are the number one, the main player in this thing. And I don't want to be seen through handful of people that came, fighters of the good against the evil. I don't want to be seen through this. It doesn't work. I am a police officer, you motherfuckers. I am a law enforcer. I am a dictator. If I wouldn't be, I wouldn't get anywhere. And I will never ever see myself on your fucking mercy from Central Intelligence Agency, from FBI. I don't live from your mercy. I didn't live from your handouts. From your handouts, I looked like a Litvinenko with a broken spine and fucked up on the floor. Penniless, destroyed. Ended up sleeping in the fucking forests under the sky. Inside of your torture cells in Budapest, in Ukraine, in Belarus, in Poland. I didn't survive because of your mercy. I survived because of God's mercy. I survived because of God. Because the power of God. I'm not Christ. I'm not fucking Christ. I'm not your fucking Christ. Don't mistake me for your fucking Christ. I'm not interested in any Christ. God was the one that gave me the power. God was the one that powered me. He did not allow me to pay attention, not even to the herniated spine, not even to these problems with the sciatic nerve, etc., etc. I continued to go on, march on, whichever way the fuck I knew. But I had one thing on my side. I had God with me. Now I know it was God. Before I didn't even know if it was something more or not, but thanks to you, see, the way I see things is, the way you wanted me to hate you literally, that you, through this, even you got the trust from me again, you purchased the trust from me. I remember those young people from Sia, vicious animals. This white American scum that was wait a minute, they always had like 2-3 guys like watching from the side that went on inside of our house, the interactions between me and other CEO officials and government officials when it was something that pertained to the government. And it was like, wait a minute, he's gonna start to see himself, man. We have to turn the situation in a toxic way, in such a way that he will reject us. So there you go, here, and you are rejected. In this lifetime, no. In this lifetime, no. Help to the people of the United States of America to educate them to see you, scum, for what you are, yes. So they can have a weapon to fight against. So they can have a weapon to inform the world about who you are and what you are and how you do this stuff. Yes, 53 years I was part of SIA. Even today when I speak about, I'm not going to say I was part of SIA. I was the SIA, the Central Intelligence Agency that countries around the world saw themselves in, the one they believed in. The one without the mask, basically. Not you. I was a different kind of SIA. Finally, I know who I was and what I was. But I know it thanks to you. That's all I want to say. There will be more cuts after this generous offers, as they said. It's going to be generous offer. The generous offers are not going to go to 1%. But the generous offers supposedly would even go, I don't know, to 5%, something like this. They were breaking down these deals. And then there would be a mass firing. After that, it would be like a mass firing. And so that's the way it goes. Yeah, you're just not worth it. You're not worth it. You're not worth it. God would not forgive me. God would not forgive me. The one who kept me alive, the one who provided for me. He would not forgive me. He would not forgive me. As simple as this. Whichever way the fuck you know.